Yeah, I thought our rebounding and defense picked up in the first half after we got down 6 when, Mo Diabate and Mo Wage came in and really got the energy turned the right way. We were having problems. We really had problems rebounding the whole game. They did a great job on the glass. You got to give them a lot of credit. I thought they played hard. I think Pat does a really good job. They got a good plan. I think our athleticism, some areas overwhelmed them. They couldn't stay in front of us, on their defensive end. But they did a great job on the glass. I thought once we started to get some stops, some rebounds, we were able to open it up a little bit. I thought, Mo really helped us in that regard. They say you win games in March with guard play. I think that's true. These guys here, combined for 60 points. It's pretty good play out of your guards, Aaron and Mark had 13 assists to 2 turnovers, and then Trelly and Mark go combined 8 of 12 from 3, which is shooting it pretty well. So I thought our guards played well. I thought our bigs were pretty good at times too. I thought we did a good job rebounding it when we were able to open up a lead. And then, this is a team in Charleston that likes to play similar to us. So it's 2 teams that want to run. So it was a heavy possession game, and, that's kind of why you end up with the points you end up with. But our offense was pretty good. We had us at like a 1.33, which is pretty efficient. And I thought our guys did a pretty good job for large parts of the game.
All right, let's take questions for Latrell Wrightsell Jr., Mark Sears, and Aaron Estrada.
Tim Booth from the AP. Latrell, how's your nose?
It's good. I feel better. It doesn't hurt that bad anymore, so I'm pretty good.
James Torman-Aldrich with the Argonaut. Mark, you were at the line a lot. You were knocking down shots. Just being able to get to the line and leading your team for the third most points you've had all season, just kind of what you saw out there, how you were able to do that.
I just wanted to be aggressive early, get by my guy and make something happen for others, or if nobody was in front of me, have a layup.
Mark, I guess for you, Matt Cohen, AL.com, I think you guys set another scoring record for, I think, most points, something like that in an NCAA tournament game. Kind of what, what from your eyes, this offense has been such a high-scoring unit all season, what keeps making it work and not doing it in March?
Say with the guard play we have, all of us can handle, all of us can shoot, and just how fast we play, it makes the game very easy. And when we're just with all the space we have on the floor, it makes the game very easy.
More question for Alabama student athletes?
For Latrell, you were kind of talking out there, chirping with one of the fans from Charleston. It's kind of what he was saying to you and how you kept your focus on the game all game.
That's what fans do. I'm not really too worried about it. I just looked at him and laughed. I didn't really say too much. He just said, we're bad. I just laughed. Move on, next play. That's what fans do. So, that's just part of the game.
More questions for these 3? Okay, we'll dismiss these 3 and thank them for their time and come back with questions for Coach. Thank you, guys. Thanks. Thank you. All right, questions for Coach Oats.
Coach, I wanted to ask about kind of the defense first. You mentioned kind of the first half versus the second half. I think it was like 34 points allowed in the first half and 62 in the second. I guess kind of what, did you see that kind of was working in the first half that you maybe can build on, and then what wasn't there, in the second half?
We've had this issue with this team all year. I think they play the scoreboard too much. We build a 31-point lead, and I'd have to go look and see what the last 7-8 minutes of that game, we just got up 31 and we quit guarding, which is a little frustrating, but it's not the time of the year to really going to jump these guys after you just scored 109 points in an NCAA tournament game. So we're playing on Sunday. There's only going to be 32 teams left playing after tonight, and we'll be one of them. It's a big accomplishment. You know, we're trying to be one of 16 playing left after Sunday, so trying to keep the energy positive. But yeah, we've had a tendency to play the scoreboard a little too often. So I think we played the scoreboard a little bit there in the second half, because I thought when the offense wasn't going well in the first half, I thought we did show a lot of maturity, because at times the offense is going great, relax, or the offense is bad, and we feel sorry for ourselves, don't play D. Like, the offense wasn't going very well. We're down, I think, 19-13, if I remember right, and we just locked in and got stops, and we're able to make like a 10-0 run and another 12-0 run. So I think we showed a lot of maturity in that way to really guard in the first half, open up the big lead in the second half, and then it'd be nice if we didn't take our foot off the gas when we got up 31. But we're playing on Sunday.
Colin Clark from the Spokesman Review. I know obviously leading the nation in scoring offense, so maybe not as much as surprise, but I'd just like to hear your kind of assessment on the offense overall. Seemed like pretty consistent, tough to stop throughout the game. What were you most pleased with on that end?
You know what? When we took care of the ball, we were able to get the shots we wanted. I thought our pace was pretty good. You know, we've got our own box score. The official box score has us 25-10 on fast break points. You know, we like to play fast, attack them, and they do too, which we thought we could get them in transition. We had to make sure we got back in transition. So, you know, we want to play fast. We like to spread the floor out. We like to open it up, take a lot of threes if they're available. We didn't take really that many tonight. You know, they ended up taking 10 more than we did, but I thought we were able to get to the rim a lot and get out in transition. So, you know, and teams think we really want to shoot, 43. We'll take whatever they give you. We're going to spread you out, and if they want to take us off the three-point line and open up the lane for us, I'm looking, we scored 46 points in the paint. So we can score it in the paint or score it from three, depending on what you want to take away.
Coach D. Jackson, CBS 42 in Birmingham. When you guys got together in the summer, you touched on maturity and how this team has kind of grown. Can you touch on how this team has gelled from the time you guys first got together and how they've matured going into the tournament?
Yeah, when this was a team that kind of got put together slowly over, I had 3 assistants leave and affects recruiting a little bit. Some guys left the portal, went to the portal late. Guys went to the draft late. So we didn't have the whole team ready, first week in June like we usually would. So we kind of added some pieces. We were able to get Grant Nelson midway through the summer, added Jaron Stevenson late. So I think they started bonding over the summer. We do a team retreat, right before fall classes start. So we did that in August. I thought that's when they really kind of got to know each other. And these guys are pretty close-knit. I mean, we've got Coach Murphy with softball came in, talked to our guys kind of midway through the season about he's got the big word mudita, which is kind of vicarious joy through someone else's achievements. And we've tried to make that a big deal. Like, are you as happy for, Mark or Trelli or whoever is playing well? Are you as happy for Mo Diabate that he comes in and he gets a lot more minutes than he typically would have got as you would be if yourself was in there? And I think these guys have embraced it a lot. I think when we've embraced it more than other times, we've been better. But I think these guys have grown together and really come to love each other and they want to keep playing together. That's why people compared this team to 2 years ago, because both teams' defense wasn't great. I think this team's different. I think they really want to keep playing for each other, and they got a bunch of really good guys that want to keep this thing going as long as we can. And I think we showed tonight when we're locked in, we can be a good defensive team, because we were a good defensive team for large parts of the night, and then they're obviously an offensive firepower. Charleston is, and if you take your foot off the gas on the defensive end, they scored a bunch of points in a hurry and made it look like our defense wasn't that good, when in reality I thought it was pretty good for a while.
We've got questions on Twitter. Let's start with Dan Tortora.
Twitter,
Dan
Twitter or
Tortora.
Zoom? Are we taking questions off Twitter now?
Yeah, Dan Tortora. Go ahead, Dan.
Dan Tortora, Wake Up Call, DT.com. Coach, just what the most rewarding part, I know you said you're going to be in 32 teams of the 300 plus that are still remaining, but what's been the most rewarding part of this season up to this point in your experience with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're playing for each other and as hard as we are right now after we've gone through a little adversity. I mean, we were number one in SEC all alone, I believe, after 13 games. I think we were 11-2, and we played really well against Texas A&M, and we beat them 100-75, and then we got some injuries, and then we dropped 4 of 6 and got beat in the first round of the SEC tournament. So to go through a little adversity and still have these guys come together and really play as hard as they did tonight, as hard as they played for each other, as good as they did on the defensive end when we struggled to guard at times. I think that's the most fulfilling. Like, you want your team trying to peak late, and I don't want to blame it all on injuries. There's multiple issues, but this is the first time we've had our full team available for no minutes restriction since that Texas A&M game, which is over a month ago. So I'm happy that they were able to fight through some adversity and still play as well as we did here in March when we're supposed to be peaking.
Last question for Coach Oats right here.
Nate, the part of the defense that you were pleased with tonight, how much of that is predicated by what Mark does at that end? It seemed like he drew Smith most of the night, just trying to stay up on him and not give him anything clean outside the three-point line.
It's a good question. It's a pretty keen observation. I think when Sears is locked into playing defense, we're pretty good on defense. And until I put him back in there, we don't really have a third point guard and trying to rest Trelly a little bit. So juggling between who's going to play Aaron or Mark there. When I up until I put him back in there, after he kind of sat, where I don't know, maybe he just checked out, thought he was done for the night. I thought he was great, like unbelievably good, like blowing pick and rolls up, handoffs into stuff. We chart these blue collar points that are kind of hustle points, and he won the hard hat tonight with the most blue collar points, and means he was getting deflections. He only had 1 steal, but I think he caused disruptions on the defensive end. So when our leaders playing as hard as he was for large parts of tonight, our defense is pretty good. We need him to be that way every game the rest of the year.